Yes. All right, people, what is happening? We are in November 21 and I am 40. It's official. I have got to 40. Don't know how, but I'm here. Okay, so over the next two episodes, November and December, the Christmas episode, if you like, over these next two episodes, we're going to be talking about the next band that I was a part of, and that is Atlantic Rising. Yes. Okay. So let's get on with it. So in September's episode, you heard from a guy called Lance and a guy called Sonny, and then last month was a acoustic gig I played at Dublin Castle, but I was actually in this band while that gig went on. But yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so basically, Sonny's done one, he's gone, see you later, and it's just me and Lance. And Lance has got a free rehearsal room in City Road on like the 10th. I ain't got a clue what floor it was, but we was up in the sky, I tell you that. Okay, yeah, so basically wanting to start a band, Sonny's gone, and it's just sort of like me, Lance and Desi. Desi was always there, like helping me out and just with us, you know what I mean, drinking loads of Camden Ales and all that. Yeah, so basically, we're looking for people all over the shop, and so to start with, we'll start with the bass player, who was Matt, and Matt played with me, and the John Chapman band. He was the bass player in that, and basically, after searching for a bass player on the internet, couldn't find one, and then all of a sudden just popped back into my head, oh, what about Matt? He was a top geezer and like great at bass and that. So gave him a call or an email or something, I don't know, but he got back in touch and said, yeah, I'll be up for it, being in an actual band. Yeah, come on, let's do it. So Matt started coming down to the rehearsal room in the sky, and then it's me, Lance and Matt. Des is like sitting there throwing things at us and that. Then drums, so basically we looking on the internet for a drummer, and we came across the lady called Rosemary, and so she came down to try out on drums, and basically Rosemary's great, she's a top lady, like, but it just weren't working with the drums for some reason. Don't ask me why. But we knew that we wanted her around. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's a top girl, and it lovely person, just brilliant to have in the band. Do you know what I mean? So like, we sort of said that it weren't working with the drums, and I think she knew it weren't working with the drums. Like, and then she sort of, before she left us, she whacked out a bag of harmonicas. And basically we played a couple of the tracks, and she was there just having it on the old harmonica. Amazing. Yeah, and we was like, sweet. It was like, you are in, harmonica in. So basically we had me playing rhythm, guitar, singing, Matt on the old bass, Rosemary on harmonica. And then we had Lance playing sort of like, it was rhythmic, but he was trying bits of lead as well to begin with, like, and then drums, so Rosemary was in as a harmonica player, so we started looking for drummers. And then this Italian geezer called David came down, and he was brilliant, and he fitted the mold. You know what I mean? He was he was a top drummer. yeah, do you know what? Like recently, when I've been looking for people now, I've always thought, yeah, definitely got to get hold of David again, but I ain't got a clue what happened to him. He's probably back in Italy or whatever, but he was brilliant, like top drummer. Yeah, so who we got now? We got David on drums, we got Matt on bass, we got Lance on guitar, we got Rosemary on harmonica, and we've got myself singing mainly, but doing a bit of guitar as well. Yeah, so that was the start of us. Yeah, so yeah, and obviously Desi's still there throwing things at us, and so we just basically was just rehearsing in the sky for a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks, and then obviously once you start, do you know what I mean, playing in a band and you're getting 10 songs down, you got a set, everyone wants to play. So yeah, so I went on looking for gigs and that. We were still rehearsing and going down to this little pub that was on City Road afterwards and that. And yeah, so Lance was a top fella as well. I'm still his pal now, you know what I mean? When he comes back from America, I always try to meet up with him and go out for a meal or just a couple of cheeky beers in the old Vine or something. But yeah. So we rehearsed and it was time to play a gig. So I've got a track, and this is the original Atlantic Rising playing at Nambucca. We're playing Mum's a Word. Sadly, Richard's not with us. But yeah. So yeah, let's have a listen to this track and then we can talk some more, baby.
Good evening, we're Atlantic Rising. Let's do this. This one's called Mum's a Word.
All the things you told me and my confidence, me and my confidence. Now I know you're the kind that always shines. Even when it's raining, yeah, when it's pouring, nobody knows all the things you told me and my confidence, me and my confidence. Such a lovely life, such a place to be, such a place to be. But they're all blind, if they can't see. Here we go! Nobody knows all the things you told me and my confidence, baby. Me and my confidence. Go! Such a lovely life, such a place to be. But they're all blind, if they can't see. Here we go! Ooh, Mom's secrets, girl. I keep your secrets, girl. I keep your secrets, girl. Cheers.
Yes. Okay. So that was, I can't even, it's like our second gig, I think, Nambuka. And that obviously was with Lance doing the backing vocals and Rosemary on harmonica, Matt on bass, me on guitar and singing, David on drums. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically from there, Lance basically had to go back to America. So then that put us in need of a guitarist, because I mean, I know I played guitar and I do play guitar and that, but I'm not no guitarist. Do you know what I mean? So basically we was on the hunt for another guitarist, and it's quite bad actually, because that gig, like I had like 12 or 13 tracks from that gig that was recorded, and Mum's the Word's the only one that I could find, and like all the other gigs with Rosemary and weren't recorded or whatever. So that's a lot from Rosemary. You're not going to hear any more from Rosemary, because sadly she left the band as well. So yes, so basically the band went down to me, Matt and David, and it was just the three of us. Like we occasionally like called Rosemary and asked her to come do some shows or whatever, and she did do a few, but she weren't like fully in the band. I don't know why really, but I don't know, she just couldn't do it or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it was down to like me, David and Matt, little bit of Rosemary as well. Lance had gone, we was looking for another guitarist, but while we was looking, we was still getting gig offers, so we was still taking them up. And yeah, so basically I've got a version of Black Blanket where it's just me, Matt and David playing it. I'm on acoustic guitar and singing, Matt's on bass and David's on drums. This is before Rosemary obviously couldn't make this gig, and this is before we got another guitarist in the band, but we was just like carrying on. Let's do it. Yeah, so let me play. Oh yeah, the other thing is as well, I've forgotten what venue this is recorded at. So if the sound of the room makes you remember a venue, let me know. Or if you was part of this band and you know and I don't, comment in the comments. No, all right, sweet. Yeah, I'll have a listen to Black Blanket and then we'll move on.
This is a tune I wrote back my eyesight. You all sound better than you look anyway, so this one's called Black Blanket. Des Jones, don't forget to leave me off the stage. Yeah.
Yes, mate. Yeah, God, that's my own little acoustic hymn, innit? Yeah, do you know what, man? I'm quite happy with that. You know what I mean? Just me, bass and drums. Maybe there's a 3-piece coming in the future. You never know. That's if I can't put Phil's arm up his back and get him to play a bit of lead guitar for me. Yeah, so basically, yeah. So I ain't got a Danny LaRue where that venue was, but yeah, it was me, Matt, and David. Don't know what venue it was in, but yeah, it was lovely. Anyway, so we carry on looking for a guitarist, and we finally find one in a fella called Aidan. Yeah, he's a nice guy as well. Like, yes. Yeah, sweet geezer, and he joined the band. At this time, we weren't rehearsing in the Sky no more because obviously Lance ain't about, so we ain't got the use of this room. So I think we was at K-Town in Regis Road, Kentish Town. They was nice to me in that way, the guys, because I was like blind as a badger as a blind. Yeah, it's hard for me to, like, you know what I mean? Des did sort of come with me places and stuff and help me out and all that, but he wasn't always available. So me getting down to K-Town is a lot easier than me going to even Storm Studios on Holloway Road, do you know what I mean? So yeah, but saying that, it's a top studio. Yeah, I advise anyone to go and rehearse there. Yeah, top studio, top staff as well, man. I ain't been rehearsing for a couple of years now, so I haven't been down there. Like, so I don't know if it's the same people, but yeah, they was top. Hopefully, they're still top. Yeah. So basically, Aidan joined the band. He's a top guitarist. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Top geezer as well. Like, everyone that had anything to do with Atlantic Rising was top, you know what I mean? So basically, after getting him ready at K-Town, started playing gigs with him, and I have found a gig that we played at the Alley Cat in Denmark Street. Yeah, so I've got, I don't know, 5 tunes off of that gig. So let's go through them, starting with It's Free. And yeah, it went a little bit like this.
This song's called It's Free. It's not, you have to pay £4 on the sheet list, £5 if you're not.
Okay, so sounding very different to the three of us. A lot more rocking. He's a top guitarist, Aidan. Yeah, don't even know what happened to these people. Yeah, top. I feel like I ain't said enough about the beginning of the band because like before we was playing gigs and when we was like doing weeks and weeks of rehearsals up in the sky, you know what I mean, with Lance and Rosemary and that, and we just used to have a right laugh, man. It was proper laugh, like so I just thought I'd just take a step back for a second and just like try and let you know a little bit more about it. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's quite funny because when we was looking for people, like I've sort of told you about the people that got in the band, do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, right, we had about 6 drummers turn up. Actually Matt was the only bass player that came, but there was about 6 drummers, a couple of guitarists, but that's a bit about it. But it's just so funny, like, because they used to turn up at this building, like, and it was like a concierge downstairs, you know what I mean? You walk in, like, you say, I'm here to try out for Atlantic Rising, and they're like, okay, take the lift to the 50th floor. No, it wasn't the 50th, but it was definitely up in the sky. Take the lift up to blah blah blah, and yes, you should be met by Lance when you step off the lift. Yeah. So it was just mental, like some of the people, but it's just so funny in it. The people that turn up, like some of them are just like I mean, you get brilliant people like who was in the band, but there was some nutty drummers turning up, man, proper nutters, like couldn't keep a beat to save their lives. And like we had people turn up and putting like bandanas on, and do you know what I mean? You're sitting there thinking, fucking, that's John Bonham, isn't it? And it's like they play and they're just like not what you're looking for, I suppose. Yeah, so and then someone like David turns up, like a proper nice guy, quiet, you know what I mean? Not nothing Charlie Big Potatoes about him, you know what I mean? And then he gets behind the old drums and plays, and you're just standing there thinking, fucking hell, you're good. But so all right, so I've had my rant. Let's move on to the next tune, and it is This Life, played live at the Early Cards.
Take
Nice one. Okay, sweet. All right, so I think it's time for Chappy Q and A. Okay, so this month I was looking at who I should get to do it, and it was standing right in front of me. Yeah, no, this month I've got my old girl to do it, my mother. Yes, Mother Mary. Yeah. My mum's like one of my biggest fans, you know what I mean? And she's always there, always at the gigs. So I think that my mum should be on Chappy Q and A. And here she is, folks.
Hello, I'm Mary, John's mum. I'm sitting here with my arm up my back at the moment to answer these questions for Chappy Q and A.
Name your top 5 bands or music acts.
My favourite acts and bands. I've got a wide variety of stuff I like. Elvis, obviously. Queen. The Stones. Michael Jackson. Tina Turner. Barry White. David Gates. It goes on. I've got a wide variety of stuff that I really enjoy.
Name your favourite guitar brand and your favourite amplifier brand.
I don't know too much about guitars or amps. I'm just trying to think. I think my son uses a Fender and a Vox, which the Beatles used to use. And I'm quite sure at some stage he would love to have a Gibson.
Name your favourite venue to play at that you have played at.
I've never played at a venue, personally, but the venue I particularly like, which I've seen John, my son, playing, is the Dublin Castle in Camden Town.
Name your favourite venue to go and watch music at.
My favourite venue to watch bands, I would have to say, is the Royal Albert Hall. It's a fantastic building. It's beautiful inside. It's really a lovely venue.
What's your favourite place in the world?
My favourite place in the world, obviously, would be London. I'm born and bred in London. But there is just one place I have visited, well, I've visited many, was a small island off of Malaysia called Langkawi, and it was beautiful.
What's your favourite alcoholic drink?
My favourite alcoholic drink, well, the mostly thing that I drink is Pinot Grigio, but I do like a vodka and tonic as well.
Do you prefer Camden or Islington for a night out?
For a night out, I'd obviously choose Camden. It's got some fantastic venues there to visit and enjoy. It also covers a wide area, so we've got plenty to choose from.
For you, is it dogs or cats?
It's dogs for me every time. We've got a fantastic Jack Russell. He's 11 years old, and I adore him. I've never really been a cat person.
What is your favourite football team?
My favourite football team is the Arsenal. Up the Gunners. John's always been very supportive of them as well, and most of our friends.
For you, is it tea or coffee?
I love a cup of tea when I get up in the morning. In fact, I have 2 cups of tea, mugs. I prefer that to coffee.
Chapcast!
Yes, and that was Mother Mary. Nice one, Mum. Cheers. Okay, so we go back to the alley cat, and this one is Teenage Wasteland.
Oh well, this is our last tune tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed us, and anyone that's
Thank you everybody for coming.
that's liking it, get on our Facebook page and have a little shindig and have a chat to us. Aiden's like an agony aunt if anyone's got any problems there. When I put them on our Facebook page, he'll sort them out. I am a meerkat. I'm a meerkat. To these two giants. David don't have to part with me, he gets to sit down.
Raise your money for charity,
Clash of the Titans, I'm the referee. When you see me in black and white. Now this one's called Teenage Wasteland. This one's for everyone that are back eating sweaty hot dogs. it's playing on Saturday the 19th September at 229 in Old Street. Hope you can all come along.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to say thanks to Max as well, man. He's a top geezer, top promoter. Love ya.
And that was Teenage Wasteland. Yeah, love Aiden's guitar in that. Sounds top, man. Okay, so let's move on. And next track that I've got is a cover tune of a band called The Who. The Who. Yeah, one of my favourite bands, The Who. And this is a cover of their tune, Can't Explain. Love it.
Just like to thank you all for coming. It was amazing. And anyone that's enjoyed us staying here to see us, you're all fucking amazing. After this, we're going to watch Empire Signal and we're going to get out of our fucking nuts.
And I want to say happy birthday to John Chapman.
Amazing. Amazing. Let's make sure the brandy's on fucking tap.
Brandy's on tap for the birthday, boys. Only on tap.
I actually need a pint of beer after this. We're trying to look after my throat after rehearsing last night. Ain't happening though. Alright, this one's Can't Explain. Thank you very much. Enjoy Empire Signal and all the other acts tonight. Love ya.
Sweet. Yes. The Who. Love that band so much. Amazing. Okay, so let's listen to this month's CHAP TALE. Yeah, go on, have a listen. Nice one.
Come inside, there's a chap tale waiting for you. Chap tales, don't you wanna hear some chap tales?
Hello and welcome to another Chap Tale. Okay, so I was looking at what chap tales I had for you, and this one should be funny. It's another chap tale that's got to do with the music festival called Broadstock that I played at a few times with the tally, I think. But anyway, this one night was a night when unbelievable amount of us went down there, and like we'd settled the tents up and all that before, and then spent the day, Cook played, watched all the bands, you know what I mean, ate loads of cheesecake, drunk loads of local cider out of our trees, and so end of the night we all decided to go back to the tents, and we're all like getting into these tents, like, and I think there'd been a little bit of an argument between Cook and James Wilson during the day. Just I can't even remember what, it's stupidness, whatever it was. But anyway, them two was sharing a tent, and so anyway, we went back to the tents. Everyone's got in their tents, and I think it went quiet for about half hour, and then slowly but surely you start to hear Cook and James having a bit of an argument in their tent, like about just stupid stuff. But it was quite comical because the way they was talking to each other, it was just like, but it was so funny because like it was getting a bit heated. I mean, they love each other. All of our pals love each other, you know what I mean? Never go to that level where it needs to be stopped or whatever. So everyone else around, because their tent was like the centerpiece of our little camp. But so I had me and Angie was in our tent, like basically next door, like, so we're laying there looking at each other and listening to this argument, and it was just so funny, some of the stuff they's coming out with. But So we're laying there, like, and then like it's getting a bit loud, getting whatever. So I've unzipped our tent a bit just to sort of see if I can see anything. Well, I could see a little bit better then, back all them years ago. But anyway, yeah. So, and Angie's with me as well, anyway. But so anyway, their tent gets unzipped, and like James piles out of the tent in a big huff, like, and he's like stomping around and all that. And then Cook's head's like poked out of the tent, and Cookie's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Get back in here!" And then James is like, "No, I'm not coming back in that tent. I'm staying out here." And they was like an old married couple. It was so funny, and it went on for a good half hour, I'd say. And like by this time, like everybody else is poking their heads out their tents and all watching, and it's so funny. And like James is like stomping off through the grass, and Cook's going, "I'll get back in here!" And it was so funny. Like, I don't know if them two think this is funny, me telling you this story, but sorry. No, yeah, but it sorted itself out at the end, obviously, and then they went back to sleep or whatever. But it was just so funny to it's like an old married couple having a proper row, like. And so all right, so that was like a nice sweet short one, but sweet. Hope you enjoyed. Nice one.
This is London's Chapcast.
Nice one. Okay, sweet. So we have got one track left, and that is Whiskey. And basically, we'd already ended the gig, and then like just about to start packing up, and Asbo enters the venue. So everyone's like, "You gotta play Whiskey, you gotta play Whiskey," because Whiskey's about Adam. So we had it up and played Whiskey before we ended the show. Okay, so also I'm going to play Whiskey, but then that is the end of this month's episode. And next month is still about Atlantic Rising. There's a few more gigs to talk about and other bits and bobs, but we will leave that for the Christmas month. Okay, nice one. Hope you've all enjoyed that. And yeah, speak to you soon. Nice one.
See you next month, yeah? Friday the 30th of November. Syria in King's Cross, let's have it. Awesome sound, man. One more. Alright, one more song from our friend, Mr. Adam Mitzvah. This song is about this guy.
He's here, at the front.
I fucking love this fella. Yeah, this tune's called Whiskey, alright? Whiskey drinking, coffee scots, the mixers way